They didn't see it coming, not really. Burnout doesn't always slam into your life like a car crash. Sometimes it whispers, quietly, persistently, until you can't ignore it anymore. It started with the usual signs. I am just tired, I'll rest after this week, I just need to get through this one project, but the truth was, the project never ended. They worked a demanding and fast-paced job, high pressure, celebrated for pushing limits. Emails at midnight, back-to-back meetings, weekends spent prepping for Monday. At first, it was exhilarating. They felt useful, respected, until slowly, the things they once enjoyed stopped bringing any joy at all. Weekends weren't for fun anymore. Weekends just for recovery. They slept late, ordered food, zoned out in front of screens, and dreaded Mondays like clockwork. And still, they pushed, still functioning, but barely. Their creativity vanished. Their mind felt foggy, forgetful. Small tasks became mountains. Motivation disappeared, replaced with a numb sense of obligation. Friends said they looked like they were doing great. They smiled back, pretending it was true. Inside, they felt like a shell. Then one morning, it hit harder. They woke up and just stared at the ceiling. Not sad, not anxious, just done. A deep, unshakable heaviness in the body, like someone had unplugged the last thread of energy. They called in sick that day, then the next, and then they stopped calling at all. At first, they told themselves, I just need rest, but sleep didn't help. Even after days of it, they still couldn't move. The guilt started to creep in. Why can't I just get up? People have it worse, am I being lazy? Burnout, they realized, doesn't look like what most people imagine. It isn't always dramatic. It can be quiet, paralyzing, isolating. Eventually, they broke. One evening in the shower, tears fell and didn't stop. The weight of everything finally said out loud in a whisper, I can't do this anymore. That moment, raw, painful, was the beginning of healing. They started searching, trying to understand what had happened. They read, listened to others, and found out burnout isn't just exhaustion. It's disconnection from purpose, from joy, from self. All their life, they had been the strong one, capable, reliable, always the helper. But who were they without all of that? For the first time, they stopped chasing, stopped pretending, and listened. They took time off, more than they thought they needed, and they started therapy. That decision changed everything. Therapy helped them unlearn decades of damaging beliefs. That rest is laziness. That productivity defines worth. That love must be earned through usefulness. They began doing small things. 10 minutes in the sun, cooking a simple meal, unfollowing people online who made them feel less than. It wasn't easy. Some days, it still felt like drowning, but the gaps between the bad days got wider. The light returned, little by little. They weren't back to normal, but they were no longer lost. Recovery wasn't a straight line. There were relapses, setbacks, days that felt hopeless. But over time, they learned to stop measuring life by how much they got done. Instead, they looked for signs of healing, laughing again, enjoying music, feeling safe, saying no without guilt. They stopped trying to be everything to everyone. They began setting boundaries, real ones, logging off at a decent hour, taking breaks without apologizing, letting go of the pressure to perform. They forgave themselves. That was the hardest part, but also the most freeing. Today, they're not burnout free, but they're aware now. They recognize the signs early. They protect their peace like it's sacred, because it is. They still work, they still care, but they no longer abandon themselves in the process. They've learned to check in with their body, to rest without guilt, to say no more often, even to good things if it's too much. And perhaps most importantly, they talk about it now. Burnout thrives in silence, not in shame. But healing begins when we share. So if anyone is listening to this and feels exhausted, disconnected, numb, please know this. You are not weak. You are not lazy. You are burned out, and you can come back from this. It won't be fast. It won't be easy, but it is possible, and it is worth it, because you are worth it. They didn't think they'd make it through, but they did, and so can you. Healing isn't about getting back to who you were. It's about discovering who you were always meant to be. Once the pressure, the noise, and the burnout fall away. If you liked or felt connected with this video, please subscribe for more content related to burnout.